Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 7 properties on the Toronto system, 3 more on the Oakville system. And if you're just joining us, one of the things we do at Milton Daily Homes is we take everything that's happened in the Milton real estate world in the last 24 hours and we just throw it up and review it and talk about it. We give you the information, but we also give you some interpretation and some things that you'd probably want to know if you're looking at buying any of these homes. So the first one that starts off is 1439 Costigan. It's an end unit townhouse. You'll see this window right here. It lets a lot of light into the home. Wraparound porch, 3 bedrooms. And so inside, the only thing you've got is one big room here called a great room. I tend to like, especially if you're paying $430 for a townhouse, that you've got some different rooms. You've got some separation, possibly even like a formal dining room. And so I'm not a big fan of that. I think the backsplash and the countertops do not match at all. And the other little hint here, I'll give you another one later on, but anything beside the fridge, because people sometimes have little step ladders or little brooms, you got to take that stuff out for the photos because it does show up and it doesn't quite create the same impression. But yeah, the counter backsplash thing is just not working for me. There's the big window. I think somebody has 2 choices when they list a home. And when I say it could be the seller, it could be the agent, they're either overt about the fact that there's something right behind. Like there's, to me, that's a fishbowl backyard, as it looks like there's 20 or 30 people that are going to be staring at you at all times. So they'll either say, hey, look, it's there, whatever. And so they'll have less showings, but the showings will be more qualified, that they're going to know before they come in that there is something there. Or what they'll do is they'll take the angle from over here towards the house and they'll show the backyard and really not show the buildings. And so that model would have more showings, but I think more people would probably walk in and go, yeah, I can't do that. I wish I had known before. Right or wrong, I think that there's pros and cons to each one of those approaches. And I tend to be the one that, if they're going to know about it anyways, leaning a little bit more towards the side of, let's just put it out there, but maybe not as overt as that. I mean, that certainly looks intimidating, I think, if you were looking at this home. And I'm not crazy about this one in terms of price. I agree the size is decent. There's also a finished basement. I don't know why they didn't display the finished basement. I think that would be a positive thing in terms of trying to kind of convince someone to pay up in the 430s. We got this one on Bar Crescent at 434.9, and it's called the Lynbrook model. It's 1,500 square feet. You've got a family room plus a kitchen. And then you've got your dining room in the front, which this space can be used for a lot of things. It tends to be a flex space, home office, dining room, a bit of a sitting area, kids' playroom. I've seen all of those used before. It looks clean, tidy, well kept. The bedrooms upstairs are all, at least from my experience, a very comfortable size. Like you could have 2 teenagers in those 2 other rooms besides the master, and they would feel comfortable, or adults or anything like that. It's not like there's one huge master and 2 tiny rooms. They're a good balance of room sizes. And a bit of landscaping here. You've got some nice separation on this side between this home and the neighbor. And Bar Crescent is nice and close to the Hawthorne Village School. And there's a lot of parks close by too. I still think 434.9, for me, when I've seen what else these ones have sold for, it's a little bit on the high side. So Savaline is 474. It's a honeysuckle. You've got a front room, plus you've got your big room in the back overlooking the kitchen. Pretty good open concept floor plan. And then you've got some different angles here in the bedrooms. I even like the fact that you've got some dormers, some different angles in the bedroom where they're not just big squares. Yeah, this is probably the average. Like this is probably sitting right on the bell curve of what I'd expect. I could see it selling for a little bit more. I could see it selling for a bit less. Dolby is 534.9. It's a Poddington, so it's 1820 square feet. Plus, there's a finished basement. And so you've got some hardwood floors here, a bit of a coffered ceiling. And this is another thing that, from a staging perspective, you want to get everything off the top cabinets. It never looks good in the real estate photos. A stainless steel appliance would certainly look nice against the white cabinets. And then you've got what looks like a nicely finished basement with a patio. It's 2 doors down from Dairy Roads. You're going to hear some road noise here. 534.9 is usually if these homes with the finished basement are up there, we're talking about more than 2,000 square feet plus that finished. Whereas at 1820 with only 3 bedrooms, they might have a bit of a tricky time. Silver Court is 649, so it's a Glenwood model and about 2570 square feet. You've got a front room. This is one of those homes that I think the photos really aren't doing it justice. There's the master, and then you also have this room outside of the master upstairs. I think that there's certainly better options in the price range. And what we're starting to see is homes like this for $50,000 more. You're talking about 700 or 800 square feet higher, like just more space, and you're getting the 3rd bathroom upstairs. So there's a bit of a pressure happening in the 600s where we're seeing a lot of the homes that up in the 7s are having a tough time, so they're tumbling down to 699, 680, and that higher 6 is definitely very competitive right now. I do think this one offers a lot of value. 3,200 square feet. They've done some nice upgrades and finishes. It's kind of strange that they have a bit of a drape across the kitchen, so I don't know if that's something where it's so bright in the home that maybe they need to block some of the sunlight from coming in. Hardwood floors. Looks like there's some nice finishes here too. The master's huge, and one of the few harps that I've seen in listing photos in the last year, and pretty standard size backyard, 43 by 88. I think it compares well to what else is out there. It's a good size at 3,200 square feet. We just saw Wild Rose at 719 get a conditional offer on it. It's right around the same size. Lingen is about 2,900 square feet. And at 749, I mean, we just talked about a 3,200 square foot home that's 50,000 less than this. This one's 400 square feet smaller. Now, it does have the backyard, but is someone going to pay $750 for it? I would expect a little bit more in this one in terms of finishes, upgrades, and possibly even a finished basement if someone was going to write a check for the mid-7s. So we're going to switch over to the Oakville Milton Real Estate Board. We got 3 listings here. And so the first one is 471 McJanet. It's a current model. It's 1195 square feet. And so you got to be careful with the scale of your furniture in this room. But the intention is to have a dining room plus a living room. And it's, I find, a very, very functional space. You've got a little area at the top of the stairs that you can use as an office nook, so you're not wasting a bedroom. And there's some good storage on the main floor as well. So what they're trying to highlight here is the fact that it faces the escarpment. You've got some nice sunsets here. It's actually beautiful. And then the university grounds are proposed to be basically right here too. So I even think about this one as a potential student rental. I like the fact that it's got 2 full bathrooms upstairs, plus a powder room on the main floor. So you could have 2 roommates that each have their own washroom. That's a little office space right here, which I think is a lovely space. So you're not taking up the space in the master of the second room. And they're good sized bedrooms as well. I think they did a nice job with the photo gallery here. And it's a nice home. It's a little higher than what we've seen the current sell for. But we also have seen a little bit of a push up in most of the other models in the last 30 days in terms of price point. So they may not be that far off. And then they've got the view plus hopefully the premium for the university. It can work both ways. And people say all the time, they say, oh, I want to move close to the Laurier campus. Are you going to have those student rentals? Is it going to be a little bit slummy because no one's taking care of their yards? Or is it going to be a positive thing? I know they're trying to integrate a lot of the education village and having a library there and having things, places to go, the velodrome where there can be a little bit more connection with the community. It remains to be seen. I really believe, based on what I've seen elsewhere, is that we're not looking at a substantial increase or loss in value as a result of being close to that university. And it's that whole appraisal principle, close but not too close, is probably your ideal. This one on Hutchinson doesn't have pictures, but I really like this one. It's probably the Baker model, knowing that it's a Mattamy home, and it's 1250 square feet, fully detached at 417.5. We haven't seen a detached home at this price point in a very long time. So it's not a huge house. It's got one room on the main floor plus a kitchen, and then you've got your 3 bedrooms upstairs, only one full bathroom upstairs. But I feel like this one is going to hit really well, because if someone wants a detached home, even semi-detached, it's almost hard to get 417 these days. And it's a nice quiet street too. It's across from a park. It's a good location. And there's a possibility that I may have sold that home years ago. I can't remember, but I know I did sell that model on Hutchinson. Featherstone is at 479, and so we've got a 3-bedroom detached home, and it's a little plain inside. The colors are all neutral. There's a second floor family room plus 3 other bedrooms, so it really opens up on the second floor. You get a nice size property here, and yeah, a lot of these homes you can actually do side by side parking in the driveway just because of the length of the property. But 479, it's okay. It doesn't really blow anyone's mind away, but I think that it does have value, especially if you like that second floor family room. It could be a very positive thing. That's the list, 10 properties, and just a reminder, we mentioned in yesterday's email, if you want to come to the Milton buyer class, just sign up over there. And we're running it next Thursday, September 26th, and we start at 7 p.m. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.